You ever come home and realize your whole damn life's been rerouted behind your back? Because that's exactly what happened to me. Last week, I flew back to Austin from a work trip half dead from jet lag and halfway fantasizing about crashing on my couch with Uber Eats and zero human contact. What I got instead, my key didn't work. Not like jamming in the lock didn't work. I mean, it literally didn't fit. Like someone went to Home Depot and upgraded their betrayal with fresh brass hardware. And the kicker. My girlfriend Brooke texted me 5 minutes later like she was sending a DoorDash ETA. I've moved on. Please don't make this harder. No context, no emotion, just a 6-word eulogy for our 2-year relationship. A year ago, things were different. Not perfect, not rom-com montage. Perfect, but we were good. Brooke worked marketing at this sleek little startup that talked a lot about brand elevation and drank $6 lattes for sport. I was the CTO at an AI firm's small team real potential, and we were finally getting VC attention. We weren't rich, but we had plans. We built this apartment together. I handled tech, she handled aesthetic. I'm talking about dumb fights over throw pillows and her dramatic obsession with natural lighting. You know, couple stuff. She used to joke about naming our future dog Widget. We were a team. Or so I thought. 2 weeks ago, I landed a potential game changer, a shot at demoing Project Echo, our voice gen model, at a private investor summit in San Francisco. 2 weeks away. Big ask, big payoff. Brooke, super supportive. Like suspiciously supportive in hindsight. She made me protein-packed travel snacks. Bought me a new hoodie because you can't pitch genius in that stretched-out thing. Even gave me this little airport kiss like we were in some indie film. I remember thinking, damn, I lucked out. Yeah, turns out what I really did was get played. Day 5 of the trip, Brooke's messages got weird. She usually FaceTimed me with wine and her latest TikTok finds. Suddenly, I was getting dry texts like, long day, night. And when we did talk, she looked distracted. Kept glancing at something off screen. Claimed it was her work Slack blowing up. I didn't push. I trusted her. But something was off. I felt it in my chest like static, not loud, but definitely there. Day 10, I woke up to a notification from our shared Nest Cam. She'd turned off access. No big deal, right? People fiddle with settings. Except she's never touched our smart home gear. I was the tech guy, always had been. Then later that night, I got pinged from our Notion workspace. She was viewing internal documentation I never shared with her back-end structure notes from Echo. That's when my stomach dropped. I opened our password manager. She'd accessed a project vault I forgot I'd synced to our shared account during setup. At this point, I'm doing math in my head. I never wanted to calculate. Who is she talking to off camera? Why is she in my dev files? What the actual hell is going on? The flight back, I changed my return flight. Left 2 days early. Told the team I was just exhausted. Which was true, just not from work. Plane lands. I text her like always. Just landed. Be home soon. No reply. Uber rolls up to our place. I grab my bags, walk to the door key in hand, still holding out for some rational explanation. But the lock different. Clean swap. Even the handle looked new. I froze. Like dead ass, just stood there with my roller bag staring at the doorknob. Then Buzz phone vibrates. I already told you what it said. I've moved on. Please don't make this harder. I looked up. The our Nest Cam blinked red. Live. She was watching me. Watching me process betrayal like it was an episode of a show she'd already binged. I didn't knock. I didn't scream. I just texted back. You sure about that? 3 seconds later, she started typing. I didn't wait. The walk away, I turned and left. Not because I was being noble or strong, I just didn't have the words. My mind was split-screening memories and rage so fast it felt like my brain was buffering. But here's the thing. While I was dragging my suitcase down our sidewalk like I was checking out of my own damn life, I felt something unexpected. Clarity. Because deep down, I'd felt this unraveling months ago. The cold shoulders, the just networking dinners, her sudden obsession with that one marketing exec she kept quoting named Zane. Zane. Yeah. We'll get to him. I crashed at a hotel 10 minutes away. Holiday Inn. Lobby smelled like over-bleached towels and stale conference coffee. Felt appropriate. I didn't even unpack, just sat on the edge of the bed for like 20 minutes. Quiet, motionless, processing. And then I got pissed. Like really pissed. Not the yelling breaking things kind of pissed. No, this was quiet surgical fury. The kind that comes when betrayal isn't just romantic, it's professional, strategic, premeditated. She didn't just dump me, she infiltrated my fucking work. So I did what any self-respecting tech guy does. When his life explodes, I opened my laptop. First thing I checked, our shared cloud folder. We had this Google Drive set up for stuff like rent receipts, travel itineraries, dumb memes. I hadn't touched it in months. Brooke hadn't changed the password. Amateur hour. Inside, she'd added a folder labeled SXSW, Client Strategy. Curious, right? Inside that folder, subfolders, screenshots, PDF exports, meeting notes, my slide decks watermarked and all. One file even had my voice transcribed under the title Echo Pitch Cleaned. I felt my blood run cold. There were outlines of our AI model structure, explanations of proprietary neural mapping techniques. Even comments like Z can simplify this Welsh metaphor, ask him. Z. Zane. This wasn't just a breakup. This was espionage. Flashback 3 months ago. Brooke had started bringing up this guy Zane from some networking group. Apparently, he worked in marketing ops for a competitor startup, same space, but not on our radar. She said they were swapping strategy insights. Swapping, huh? At the time, I thought she was just nerding out. I remember even making her a joke Excel chart called Zane Danger Level, with checkboxes like uses crypto slang unironically and owns a blazer with a hoodie sewn in. Turns out I should have made a damn firewall instead, so I made calls. First one went to Leo, my co-founder, straight shooter. Kinda neurotic, but loyal. Brooks compromised the model, I said. He went dead silent. What, how? I gave him the short version. He cursed in a whisper like his roommates might hear the betrayal. She's been feeding Zane our structure, I added. He's building a knockoff. Might even launch at Southby. Leo, dude, that's next week. Yep. I didn't stop there. I started going through metadata timestamps. You'd be amazed what people leave behind: creation dates, download logs, email trails. Especially when they're overconfident and underinformed. I found drafts she'd sent herself. Notes labeled client-tailored version of our pitch. Even videos of her walking through our app interface like she was demoing it herself. All that time I thought she was curating her Instagram stories. Turns out she was curating my fucking IP. And the worst part, some of those files were recorded while I was still in the apartment on work calls. I remember that one Zoom where she said she had a migraine and needed quiet, so I muted and put on headphones. Found the audio she recorded that night. She was in our kitchen demoing my baby, my startup, to Zane on FaceTime. I wanted to scream. I didn't. I opened a whiskey mini from the minibar and called Mac. Mac is my emergency contact for life. Known him since college. Ex-roommate. Walks around like a conspiracy theorist with receipts. When he picked up, I didn't even greet him. She fucking stole Echo, I said. Brooke. Yeah. I'm gonna need 30 minutes and a Red Bull. Classic Mac. He called back 47 minutes later with a voice note that started with, "Okay, so this is gonna blow your mind." Apparently, Zane had been flagged at his old company for NDA's violations. Nothing that made the news, but whispers. Mac had a buddy who worked in security compliance who said Zane was a risk factor with a smile. I sat there listening to Mac read off LinkedIn activity company filing changes and domain registrations. Zane had just launched a shell brand called EchoX Systems. Subtle. Guess what domain he bought? echoakai.com. Registered 4 weeks ago. My stomach dropped. The dude was planning a parallel launch. Their demo was scheduled on the exact same day and time block we had at Southby. Probably hoping to beat us to the punch or at least confuse investors. But there was one thing he hadn't accounted for. Me watching him back. I needed more ammo, something that could nuke the whole plan from orbit. So I called up Jen. Now this is not some revenge fling plot twist. Jen is a brilliant UI UX designer who also happened to be Brooke's biggest professional insecurity. Every time she saw Jen at networking events, she'd go full Mean Girls. But Jen always kind to me. We'd grab drinks after demos, talk shop, nothing scandalous. She picked up on the second ring. Hey, stranger, she said, half teasing, half wary. Everything okay? No, but I need your help. I told her everything, didn't sugarcoat it. She didn't even hesitate. Come by my place. Bring everything. Let's blow this thing up. So I did. By midnight, we had a Google Doc 27 pages deep. Annotated screenshots, metadata callouts, side-by-side comparisons of my slides versus theirs. We even got audio transcriptions aligned to file timestamps. She was surgical. We ordered tacos at 2 a.m. She fell asleep editing my rebuttal deck. I looked at her hair, tied up fingers still on the trackpad, and felt something strange hope. Not romantic, not yet. Just clarity. Maybe I wasn't just a guy whose girlfriend betrayed him. Maybe I was about to become the guy who burned their fake empire to the ground. Next morning, I sent 3 emails to the SXSW committee with a confidential briefing about IP violation and brand impersonation. To our VC contact, full documentation of the breach and why investing in echoic systems would be like buying a used parachute. To Zane, just a link to a Dropbox folder with every file he copied. Caption: let's see how well your version works without stolen code. Brooke finally texted. Can we please talk? You're being dramatic. This isn't what it looks like. I didn't respond. Then she emailed. We had a good thing, Nate. You're blowing it up. Still nothing. Last message she sent was voice, her voice cracking. You said we were building a future. How could you just walk away? Oh, Brooke. You didn't just lose me. You lost the blueprint. The thing about betrayal, it's not just the cheating or the stealing. It's realizing that someone you built your life with was playing a different game the whole damn time, and you didn't even know the rules. Brooke used to joke that I lived in my head too much. She was right. Except now my head was the only place I could live because the rest of my world was compromised. It's weird how quiet revenge feels when you're doing it right. No fireballs, no screaming matches, no slashing tires in the rain. Just files, logs, evidence, strategy. I wasn't out for blood. I was out for closure, the real kind. The kind where they can't lie their way out of it anymore. Where the truth isn't just told, it's shown. 2 days before SXSW. Zane still hadn't responded to the Dropbox link I sent. Coward. Brooke, though, she doubled down. She started emailing people in my network, our network, saying I was being vindictive and emotionally unstable after our split. Word got back to me through Leo. Yohi texted she just demmed Haley from the UX team and said you're trying to ruin her career. Screw that. So I added one more step to my war plan. I called a guy named Marcus, legal consultant for startups. Not quite a lawyer, not quite a tech bro. Just this dangerously efficient hybrid who loved terms like provisional asset hold and pre-launch IP flagging. I sent him everything. His exact words were, they are so fucked. Then he said, let me make some calls, which in Marcus speak meant things were about to get spicy. Later that night, I got a text from an unknown number. You planned this. You wanted to humiliate me. It was Brooke. I could have ignored her. I should have, honestly. But I replied, I wanted to protect my work. Your humiliation is just a side effect. Typing bubble appeared, disappeared, reappeared. She finally wrote, Zane told me it wasn't a big deal. He said startups borrow ideas all the time. I stared at the screen. That was it, the whole fucking problem, right there. She didn't even think it was betrayal. She thought it was just business. I didn't respond. Instead, I pulled up the final deck Jen and I had worked on. The real one. The version we'd locked in after stripping out every ounce of fluff and every single line of code Brooke had ever seen. It was leaner, sharper, and somehow more me. Because now it wasn't just a product demo. It was a statement. South B Day. 7:45 a.m. I showed up 2 hours early, badge, already clipped, headphones in, playlist set to nothing but instrumental rage and synthwave. Jen met me at the check-in table with 2 coffees and zero judgment. You good? She asked. Getting there. She nodded like a coach before a final game. They're about to regret ever meeting you. 8:30. VIP lounge. I got a call from Leo. Zane's booth is shut down. I froze. What? Dude, he said, almost laughing. SXSW legal team came in with a compliance notice. Said they were flagged for IP violations and unlicensed demo content. I sat down hard. You serious? They're gone. Booth's empty. They pulled the signage and everything, like it never existed. I just stared at the floor for a second. Then I exhaled. One deep breath. Then another. I wasn't dreaming. This was real. 900 a.m. sharp, we took the stage. Me, Jen, Leo. No flashy intro video. No ego monologue. Just clean, tight storytelling. We walked through Echo's voice model, the personalization engine, the ethical guardrails. Showed off a real-time demo where the AI adapted voice tone based on emotional cues. People were leaning in. We ended on a slide that read, "Built with integrity, protected by intention." And that was it. Applause. Not standing, not wild, but solid. Like people got it. Backstage, I got a text. From Mac. "Bro, Zane just went on LinkedIn and posted some cryptic meltdown about oppression by gatekeepers and tech censorship. People in the comments are calling him out." Another one. Also, Brooke's LinkedIn just changed. Open to work. LMAO. I wish I could say I felt triumphant. Like I walked out of there with fireworks exploding and a theme song playing behind me. But honestly, I just felt empty. Not broken, not bitter. Just done. Like the part of me that had been holding on to the anger, the pain, the need for her to get it finally let go. She didn't get it. She probably never would. And that wasn't my problem anymore. That night, Jen and I grabbed dinner. Nothing fancy, just burgers and bourbon and the kind of silence that doesn't feel awkward. At one point, she looked at me and said, "You don't look like someone who just torched his ex's career." I shrugged. "Guess I'm more of a silent arsonist." She smiled, a humble fire starter. I laughed for the first time in days. It felt weird, but good. Later, back at the hotel, I checked my phone. Brooke had sent a voice message. I don't know why I opened it. Her voice was shaky, no filter, no spin. "I'm sorry. I didn't think it would go this far. I was scared you'd leave me behind. And Zane said it would just be leverage. I didn't want to lose you. I didn't know how to keep up." Silence. Then, "I fucked it all up, didn't I?" "Yeah, you did." I didn't reply. Not because I hated her, because I had nothing left to say. She burned the bridge. I just walked away from the smoke. 3 days after the demo, things started unraveling for Brooke fast. I wasn't even tracking her anymore. I was trying to decompress, sleep past 6 a.m. without waking up mid-dream in a panic. But Mac was feeding me updates like he was live blogging the apocalypse. She deleted her Instagram, he texted. She pulled the post about her strategic partnership with Echoic. She just unfollowed you. I didn't care about that last one. Unfollow me all you want. It's not like we're in the same world anymore. Then came the real hit. Marcus, the startup fixer I'd hired, emailed me a scan of an official legal notice sent to Echoic Systems CC'd to Zane and Brooke. Cease and desist. Violations, intellectual property infringement. Attached evidence, 47-page PDF. You ever see justice printed in Helvetica? It's fucking beautiful. But here's where it got weird. The backlash wasn't just legal, it got social. Brooke and Zane had pitched Echoic hard to a couple of niche tech influencers. Claimed it was a more ethical AI. Said it bridged the emotional gap between human and machine. Except once the truth came out, once people saw the receipts, that narrative flipped on them like a boomerang with knives. Reddit threads. Substack callouts. One TikTok even broke down Brooke's fake demo frame by frame like it was the Zapruder film. By the end of the week, #Echoic fail was trending on X. Not global or anything, but enough that investors pulled out. Zane locked his Twitter. Brooke's LinkedIn got flooded with angry comments. She tried to explain, but it came off fake like a kid who copied homework and still misspelled the name. Then she ghosted. Just disappeared. Meanwhile, I kept it clean. Didn't subtweet, didn't rant, didn't rub it in. But I did one thing. I posted a single photo to LinkedIn, our team at SXSW, standing under the Echo banner, smiling, tired, relieved. Caption built with intention. Launched with truth. That post blew up. VCs started emailing us. Podcasts reached out. A few people flat out said, "We saw what happened. You handled it like a pro." I didn't feel like a pro. I felt like a guy who survived a fire with just enough time to throw a hose back over his shoulder before walking away. Then came the surprise. Monday morning, a week after the fallout, I got a package. No sender listed. Inside a key and a note. I understand now. You didn't just build the company. You built the life I tried to steal. I'm sorry I broke it. You can do more with this than I ever could. B. The key. It was to our old apartment. The one she locked me out of. I stared at it for a long time. That stupid little silver piece of metal. The symbol of the moment my life imploded. And now she was handing it back. Too late. I didn't go back. I let the lease expire. Had movers grab my stuff, what was left anyway. Brooke must have kept some of it. Maybe sold it. Whatever. I didn't ask. I didn't care. I was already somewhere else, physically, mentally, emotionally. My new apartment was downtown, walking distance from the co-working space. View of the skyline, no bad memories soaked into the furniture. No echoes of betrayal in the hall. Just space. Peace. Jen started coming by more. At first, it was just co-working energy. Brainstorming sessions, dinner. After long edits, her crashing on the couch because the buses ran late and Ubers surged. But it turned into something else. Something unforced. Like maybe neither of us was rushing toward anything, just not running anymore. I remember one night she asked, "Do you ever wonder how long she planned it?" I thought about it. "Not really," I said. "It doesn't change anything." She looked at me like she didn't fully believe that. Hell, maybe I didn't either. But it was the truth I needed. Because honestly, I did wonder. Was it one meeting with Zane that flipped the switch? Or was it months of little rationalizations, one shortcut at a time? One compromised choice after another? Until she couldn't tell what was hers and what was mine anymore. That's what betrayal really is. Not a knife in the back, just slow erosion. Until one day you're standing in the ruins of something you used to believe in, wondering how it all fell apart. But here's the kicker. I didn't want revenge anymore. I got it. I got all of it. She lost her job, her startup tanked, her name's attached to one of the most embarrassing flops in recent tech history. Meanwhile, my company's thriving. But none of that felt like a win. You know what did? Getting my focus back. My team. Waking up and not having to guess what game someone's playing behind your back. Still, life has a weird sense of humor. Because a week later, I ran into Brooke. At a grocery store. Dead ass. I was buying oat milk and overpriced granola. She was in the self-checkout line looking like someone had hit rewind on her life. No makeup. Hoodie. Eyes red like she hadn't slept. Our eyes locked. And for the first time since all this started, I felt nothing. Not hate, not rage, just over it. She walked toward me, slow, unsure. "Nate," she said. I nodded. Long silence. I didn't mean for it to end like that. I raised an eyebrow. "You changed the locks." She flinched. "I panicked," she said. "I thought you'd fight. I thought you'd try to win me back." That hit weird. "You wanted me to fight for you. I thought you cared enough to." I let that sit there. Then said I cared enough to walk away. She didn't argue. She just looked down and nodded. I lost everything, she said. I didn't correct her. I didn't remind her that she gave it away. Just said, "Take care of yourself." And walked past. Back home, I told Jen. She didn't say much, just nodded and passed me a beer. We sat on the balcony quiet, watching the city flicker. "I'm glad you didn't go off on her," she said eventually. "Wouldn't have helped," I replied. Still, she said, "I hope she felt it." She did, I said. "Trust me." Because nothing stings more than silence. Nothing says, "You're not in my story anymore," louder than not needing to say anything at all. Funny thing about peace. It doesn't feel like fireworks, or angels singing, or closure wrapped in a bow. It's quieter than that. It's waking up and not having your stomach tie itself in knots before your feet even hit the floor. It's checking your phone and not dreading what's on the screen. It's making coffee because you want to, not because you need caffeine to stay functional. Took me longer than I thought to notice it. A month passed. Echo got featured in a mid-tier tech magazine. Our user beta blew past projections. Investors stopped watching and started committing. Leo started smiling in meetings again. We were winning. But here's the messed up part. I wasn't celebrating. I was detached, like the revenge high had worn off and left this weird hollow behind. Not regret, not even guilt, just fatigue. Brooke was gone. Her little empire had crumbled. Zane disappeared off social like a cockroach under a light. And here I was, succeeding. Finally. But it didn't feel like a win. It felt like recovery. Jen noticed first. "You've been quiet lately," she said one night over Thai takeout. "I'm just tired," I told her. She gave me a look. The kind people give when they know you're full of shit but love you enough to wait for the truth. I sighed. I keep thinking, what if I had missed it? Missed what? The signs, the leaks, the patterns. I was this close to letting her take everything, and I didn't even see it. Jen leaned back. "So you're mad at yourself for being, what, trusting?" "No. I'm mad that I stopped paying attention. I got comfortable. Lazy. I thought loyalty was enough to keep things stable." She reached across the table and squeezed my hand. "You didn't get lazy, Nate. You got blindsided. That's not the same." Maybe. Still felt like I should have known. There was one thing still unresolved. Brooke's role in our cap table. Technically, her name was still attached to the early version of the operating agreement. She'd never had voting power, but the document wasn't airtight, and now that Echo was gaining value fast, we had to clean it up. So I called Dave, my lawyer. "Mr. Bulletproof Contracts and Bad Golf Swing. I need her name gone, officially." Dave sighed. "It's doable, but it means sending her a termination notice and paperwork to release claims, if she fights it." "She won't," I said. I was wrong. 3 days later, Dave called back. "She's trying to negotiate a buyout." I stared at my phone. "A what?" "She wants compensation for her early involvement, claims she contributed to brand positioning and investor relations. She's also alleging emotional damages." I laughed. Like really laughed. That deep exhausted, can't believe this is real kind of laugh. "She locked me out of my own fucking house, Dave." "I know," he said. "I read the report." I wanted to burn the world down again. But instead I said, "Let her take the yeesha." Ding. We set it up at a neutral office. Big glass conference room. Too much chrome. The kind of place where people wear expensive watches they can't pronounce. Brooke walked in looking composed but different. Like the version of her I used to know had been replaced with someone playing the part. No heels, no power blazer. Just plain clothes. Almost humble. She didn't say hi, just nodded and sat across from me. Dave handled the opening. "Ms. Larson, we're prepared to offer a clean separation with no financial settlement provided you sign full release of claims." Brooke glanced at me. "That's it, after everything I helped with." "You mean the stuff you tried to steal?" I said, level. She flinched. "I made mistakes, Nate. But I was part of the beginning." "No, you were part of the detour. The mistake. Echo isn't built on you. It survived in spite of you." She went quiet. Dave slid the document across the table. She didn't reach for it. "You know what hurts the most," she said, eyes still on the paper. "Not that I lost. Not that I got caught. It's that you're so calm about it." I leaned forward. "I'm calm because I'm done. This is the last thread. After this, we don't exist in the same story anymore." She signed. Without a word, I walked out of that meeting feeling 10 pounds lighter. That was it. No more threats, no more leaks, no more checking shadows. Just clean air. That night, Jen and I went out. First real night out in weeks. No laptops, no pitch decks, just music, neon, and a rooftop bar that smelled like tequila and new beginnings. She leaned against me under the heat lamps. "You're different now," she said. "Better or worse? Quieter, but lighter, like something let go." I didn't answer. Just kissed her shoulder and looked out at the city. Later that week, I did something weird. I wrote Brooke a letter. Not to send, just to get it out of my system. "You didn't destroy me. You made space. Space to rebuild. You showed me where the weak points were. And I patched every damn one of them. So thank you, not for loving me, but for showing me what happens when love turns into leverage. You played the game. I rewrote the rules." I folded the page, burned it in the kitchen sink. It felt symbolic, maybe dumb, maybe healing. Whatever. It helped. You know what's weird? Forgiveness isn't loud either. It's not some dramatic moment where you shout, "I forgive you" under a rainstorm while a string quartet plays. It's just waking up one day and not needing to replay it anymore. Not needing them to hurt. Not needing the last word. It's breathing. Existing. Moving the fuck on.